Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Rel, Sugar Hearts. So, what we're doing today, I'm going to be explaining Escaping Limbo, which is my album that released this past summer in 2018. I just want to basically get all the content and all the feelings that went inside this album together, and also everything surrounding that and how I put it together. With all that being said, I hope you all are ready for this video. Got a lot of great content inside here, and I hope that you all do enjoy. To start off things, I just kind of want to talk about, I guess I'll start with the song title, album title, excuse me, album title. The album title is called Escaping Limbo. And with that being said, it kind of took me a while to actually find a title for this album. Like, I had everything all together for the songs and what I wanted to get across and the message I wanted to get across, but it's just like I couldn't find a way to put it in the words for a title. So it ended up coming to be me going to the last song, the outro for it. When I got to the outro for that song, I'm Going Down, it really put everything together for me. When I went back to listen to everything I was putting down, I'm like, this is literally it. I'm Going Down just made everything click for me when I was making that song. If you don't know what limbo means, limbo is the medium grounds between heaven and hell. So with that, it was basically a symbolic message to try to show that, all right, if you're stuck inside this place in the waiting ground, trying to get you out of that, as far as like depression and things like that. So with that being said, it was me trying to get people out of that mode. The skits for the album, they tied it all together as well too. And with the skits, I had myself inside like a counseling session. The counseling session was set up by me counseling myself, which is kind of weird a little bit, but if you look at the concept of what I'm trying to say it's that the point is I've had to counsel myself for a majority of my life. So this is kind of how I navigate through my mind to try to keep myself under wraps, if that makes sense. While that's going on, in the first skit that I do, it kind of shows how people go into counseling sessions and they don't even really try to help themselves, They don't try to express all the things going on with them so that they can be helped. And that's kind of the place where it starts off, as a lot of people do. They just kind of try to say that, oh, nothing's wrong, blah blah. So that's kind of what I wanted to set up with that, and then it kind of follows through with each one, changing the different aspects of it. So we'll come back to the skits and stuff later throughout the video, but I'm gonna go ahead and start off with number one of Escaping Limbo, Corrupted Love. Corrupted Love had so many feelings of pain, self-doubt, also just every amount of pain that I've had through relationships, friendships, all that was brought into that song to try to just explain all the pain that I've had through that and how it kind of messed up my own mental. And I can imagine that some people have felt the same way before because of their relationships they've had and how bad they've turned out, how bad they've been treated. They've lost sight of how to love themselves, and how to love others. And that's where I ended up coming up with Corrupted Love, as a title for that, because it's like you saying that you're doing this, but it's just a corrupted version of what you think love is, So that's where I kind of got that with. And I just wanted to start off the album. That was basically the intro of the album, and I wanted to start off with that to break down all the things that are going on, that are negative. And with following that, it did have a skit at the end of the first song, and that was the skit explaining, more so showing how we don't want to express those negative things, And I was brought to that counseling session because of the issues that I had dealing with relationships and things like that, and friendships, and how they impacted me negatively, So that's why I was in that mode with myself, and I didn't want to express anything. I basically dismissed everything that the counselor said to me, and I didn't want to hear any of it because I'm like, I don't need to be this, like, there's no way that you can tell me how to help my life. And that's basically the mindset. It was a closed-minded mindset that I was set inside for myself inside the situation. So then it goes on to number 2 of the album, Living Up. Living Up featuring Abstract. Abstract, amazing artist. I've been listening to him for years, and to have him on this album really means a lot to me, because he's definitely like been a help to me becoming a better artist, independent artist as well too, you know. And I can't thank him enough. But Living Up was basically the portion of the song where, well, the portion of a life where you're like, all right, I'm good, I don't need any help, you know, I'm living life, I'm enjoying myself, like I'm not thinking about anything negative. And that's where I wanted to set the tone. Like, it's a happy song and it makes you feel good when you listen to it. And that's the whole point of coming from a negative state. You're like, wow, I can just, you know, just walk through life, look at the sunshine, ride in your car, you know, top down, things like that. And you know, you're just feeling good, but you're really just putting all the negative things to the side while they're still there. It's like you got a chip on your shoulder that you're not trying to keep around, but it's still there, but you're pretending that it's not. That's what Living Up was set to show inside the album. How we just constantly just do things, try to enjoy life, but we're truly not happy with it. So that's pretty much how Living Up came to be, and everything that kind of comes with it. Moving on into number 3, it's kind of on the same thing, Roll With It. It was a sex-based song, you know, so you're just doing what you want to do, you know, you're just having fun, you're rolling with it, you're not really stressing about anything, you're just keeping it moving. And that's kind of where I wanted the album to kind of, you know, set. Even though the majority of it was set to like have like a tone of deepness inside yourself, it was kind of a story, and that's where I wanted it to be told, and inside the order that I had the songs as well too. So you have to kind of put yourself into the position of the main character. So if you want to think about it like this, it was kind of like a play, and I wanted everybody to have a part throughout the songs. Make yourself the main character inside these songs to see if you can relate to it, starting off from song 1 all the way through. After number 3, which was, you know, a sex-based song, it's cool, it's chill, you know, and it's just, it is what it is, you know. Then you get on into track 4, which is Gimme Space. That was about a previous relationship that I had, and inside that relationship, it was a really clingy relationship, and it was with the girl that I was with for a long time. My most impactful relationship that I've had. We were together 2 years on and off. With that being said, like, we were on college campus, you know, we're at VSU, we go to school together. We're basically living together, buying this, buying that, you know, staying together in the same room like all the time. So we like barely spend any time away from each other, because when we go to events, we go together because we can't, like, we're inseparable type stuff. And she was from out of state, so like the only time we were ever really apart was when she had to go back home, you know, for like at the end of semesters and things like that. So for me, when I went back home, I didn't live that far from campus, so she would come back with me. And my mom did not mind her coming, but you know, it was all the time, so it was a kind of constant thing where we just kind of weren't separated. And so ended up being, you know, it was an issue whenever I wanted space, and that's where it ended up becoming a confliction, you know. So if anybody could relate to that, that's why I put that inside there, to show, like, you know, it kind of does pull you back and pull you down when you have such a clingy relationship. Moving on, the end of track 4, it did have a skit at the end of it as well. And inside this skit, it focused on realizing that, wow, inside this counseling, if I just tell them what they want to hear, then I can get through it faster. So that's where I was inside that on skit 2. It was like, wow, I'm coming here with my nice bright smile, you know, I'm just gonna come in here with the best energy possible. I'm not gonna have a sad face anymore. Like who needs that, you know? So I ended up coming in like that, and then I'm trying to, you know, make the counselor think that I'm good, you know, make them think that I can just get out of here. And that's basically where I wanted to go with that. How we kind of try to fake it to get out of situations, you know. So going on to that, after that skit, we had number 5, which was Nimbus. Nimbus I'm not sure if you all know, but everybody who's watched Dragon Ball, you will know what Nimbus is. It's a Nimbus cloud that Goku would ride on. He would ride on, and it would only take like the purest of heart people to be able to ride on it. So it was a kind of symbolic thing for me. I wanted Nimbus to be able to take me out of the situation that I was in. So that's kind of like, if you're going through some bad problems, I wanted Nimbus to take me out of that. And so out of your cloudy days, your rainy nights, all that, that's what that song was about. And that was an interlude on the album. And it was kind of really chill, lo-fi type song. And just wanted to kind of be able to show that message inside there. It's really quick and simple. Then moving on into number 6. Number 6 is Fade Away. Fade Away was basically taking in everything that's happened and realizing that it's going to be a brighter day. Like there's going to be a point in time where all this pain that I have is just going to fade away. And I'm not going to have to worry about it anymore. And we're going to be able to push through it. And also inside that song, I also talked about, not wanting to be to a label, because I would not be able to express everything that I want in this kind of way I want. And, I had to do things a certain way. And I'm not trying to be tied down to any one thing, because I'm a kind of sporadic person at times, I like to do some of this, some of that, and I like to be able to have free realm over what I'm doing. And even the way I created this album, I'm really proud of how it worked out and all the things I put together inside of it. And this all happened when I was, I only had $50 to my name, but I got an internship, and it was like 4 hours away from where I was staying at, almost out of state. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take this money and I'm gonna go open my car, a little bit of gas I got, and I made it work, and I worked that whole summer putting in money, doing music the whole summer to be able to afford the album and stuff like that. So yeah, it was basically just trying to get all that out, and all that tied into it. So going into track number 7, this was War in the Light. War in the Light was kind of an alternative, kind of rockish song, and I wanted to kind of diversify the sound as well of the album. So with this, it was kind of tying back to how I was treated when I was younger. I was treated as an Oreo, oh wow, he's the black kid that acts white. Oh wow, yeah, wow, let's go bully him, blah, 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 stuff like that. So I was always treated as the weirdo, the outcast, things like that. So with that, it kind of, I just kind of wanted to reflect on that inside the album to try to show where I've came from and things like that, and how I've been jumped before because of me being weird and me not being a thug and stuff. And that's what majority of the people were in my environment. So I just didn't fit into that category because I don't sag my pants, I don't do this, I don't do that, and that's what I always got joked on for. I come to class inside, business attire because it's a dress day or something like that, and you get clowned for doing that. So it was just a lot of things inside that experiences. I also talked about how women desire that, women outside my area desired thugs over, guys like setting themselves up successfully, and that just made no sense to me. Then so I did end up taking like shots at it. I took shots at that, and then I kind of tried to just explain how in my mind, the way I processed all of that basically. And then moving on to that, it kind of set up the next song, which was track number 8, A Family Matter. This song was so and is so important to me. It basically describes all of the reasons why I went through so much depression when I was younger and even till now, which was talking about how family can really make you feel like your life doesn't matter. Because, all right, yeah, I have friends that will treat me like family, but the reason we even say that is because family's supposed to have our backs more than anyone. And that's the thing. And I felt like I wasn't in that. Like I'd have friends that were, better family than my own parents, than my older siblings, things like that. And And I have 3 other siblings, 2 older and 1 younger. My younger brother is 9 years younger than me. My older brother is 4 years older than me, and my older sister is 8 years older than me. So it's like I just kind of felt like I couldn't go anywhere inside that. And I never really had support from mom, dad. Dad left when I was 12. So it was kind of a mixed up problem for me. Mom did not support my music and things like that until I was, a couple years ago, if even that. And even down to like my JROTC competitions I did in high school, back when I started playing football in middle school, basketball in high school, any of that. When I got down to my live performances I ended up doing, my whole family was not there at all. But the crazy enough thing is my dad came out and he supported me through most of those things I did, which is weird because he wasn't even around. But he did make time for those, which is something I can't take away from him at all. So it's like that song really just expressed how much it can play a part in someone's life, because I talked about having people that have not even seen me face to face who love everything that I do. And it just mind boggles me how somebody you've never even met before or anything like that can appreciate you more than your own family. And it's an amazing feeling to have that, but also it makes you feel worse because like, wow, how can a complete stranger care about me more than my own family? So that's where that ended up going. Makes you feel like your life doesn't matter in a sense. So moving on into track number 9. Track number 9, This Is My Life. That was the next to last song on the album. And this song, it embraced all the pains, the heartaches, the triumphs that I've had and embraced it, This is my life. I'm taking charge of everything that's going on in my life. And that's what this was about. This was about, yes, this has happened, but you're gonna know who I am when I walk through the door. And that's basically what that was. And it was a complete freestyle. So it was me just flowing off of how I felt, And that's why I really did like that song, and I like the way it played out too. And to leading out to the outro. Number 9, This Is My Life, had a skit onto it, and that was the last skit that was on the album, which is skit number 3. This skit was in the counseling session as well too, and it ended up me realizing that the counselor already knew what was going on, what I was doing. They already knew that I was planning to try to get out of counseling. So it ended up coming up to me like, oh yes, this is the last one. I finally can get out of here. But then they hit me with the ball like, all right, so tell me what's really going on, because you've been lying this whole time about how you're feeling. And then it's like, shit, they knew. Like, now I actually have to express myself. And that's what like a lot of people really hate to do. They do not like to express themselves. So it ended up ending the skit right there and tying directly into the next song with myself basically crying, breaking down crying, talking about how much I can't do this anymore, how much I can't do this. And then you have myself as a counselor talking to myself, saying that you can do this and you can do this, and me feeling like I just can't get up and I'm stuck. So that's where the song plays into the part of I'm going down. It would be the counselor going down to try to save, in a sense, of myself. So it's me trying to save myself, but also it's me trying to save everybody else that may be inside that situation. That's why I said just try to put yourself into the shoes of if you're going through anything, that's me trying to reach out to pull you out of that. And that's why I created the song Escaping Limbo, the album. That's why I created the album Escaping Limbo, because I wanted to be able to pull people out of that dark mode that they're in, that stasis. I don't want people feeling like they can't move out of the pain that they're in, because I felt that. And ironically, even though I made this whole album around the skits of counseling, I ended up doing counseling months after that, which is really ironic to me. But it's it's really played a big part inside of my life, and I know it plays a big part inside of everybody else's through depression and everything. So I wanted to kind of help those who are going through it as well too, because it is a real thing. So inside I'm Going Down, I just really talked about all the things trying to lift up out of the community, trying to, like, my community, they've been really stuck inside the same mindset, you know, and I hate it. Like, when I go back home, I feel like I'm being dragged down, and it doesn't want me to go anywhere. Like, it doesn't want me to succeed. It doesn't want me to be more, you know, and I hate that feeling. And that's why I left home too, outside of it being, you know, not the home that I was in for all my life. So with that basically concluded the whole album and also brought it all together. I'm Going Down was the message that I wanted to send for the whole album. So if you look at who I have on the album, the only feature that I have on the album is Abstract. Reason for that is I've been listening to him for years, and he talks about a lot of the similar things that I talk about, and I just really respect that. He talks about trying to uplift others through depression and things like that, and I'm like, this was a really personal album for me, and I did not want anybody on the album besides myself, but he was the only exception that I did have for it. And for him to be the big artist that he is, it was amazing for me to have him on one of my songs, and my album as well. So it was amazing for me to be able to have somebody who knows what I'm talking about, who, you know, can relate to, in a sense, to what I'm talking about too. So I just want to thank everybody who has listened, and also everybody who is supporting, everybody who's coming to supporting now, you know, that hasn't been there. I definitely appreciate you, and I'm sorry I didn't have any video with this, but I do have videos that were being processed and everything like that throughout the album. So hope you all do enjoy that. All these videos were shot while I was over the summer, while I was working on the album. Hopefully you do enjoy those. Outside of that, I just can't thank you all enough for supporting me, and I do only hope to help you all grow as well too, as myself, through this process. So thank you all again.
They wanna fly away when they see you showing up, make you feel okay when the drink blowing up, but it's gonna be okay. Hey, riding with your 3 all day, yeah, we okay. 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 What you call a friend that be pulling up just to wear you out? What you call another friend that's there for you, then be flaking out? I can see right through it, cause yeah, I've been through it. Yeah, I'm okay. You were okay, if they riding for you, then I bet you know the day. Just go and send a little text, I bet they go and stray away. We're not looking for the sex, we're just looking for a text. Shot my shot, you